Most women don't need more motivation. They don't need another podcast telling them to try harder. They don't need another plan, another challenge, another reset. What they actually need is safety in their nervous system. And almost no one is talking about that. I really want you to lean in if that like triggered something in you and you're like, "Oh, that's me." What I'm about to say could be the start of you radically transforming your life. If you've ever said to yourself, I know what to do, so why can't I do it? I hear my clients say this all the time, and it's so frustrating. If you're intelligent, capable, driven, but you keep repeating the same cycles, if you've started over more times than you can count and you're quietly exhausted by your own potential, I want you to stay with me because this conversation is not about fixing you. It's about understanding what's actually happening in your body and why motivation alone was never the answer. So, what a relief. You can stop thinking that you need to feel more motivated. My name is Tiffany. I'm a holistic health, fitness, and life coach. I'm a speaker, and I am the author of Wounded to Warrior: How to Participate in Your Own Rescue. I've spent years working with women, especially high achieving women over 40 who are successful on the outside and silently burning out on the inside. And that was definitely me. I want to be very clear about something. I don't coach motivation. I don't coach hustle. I don't coach pushing harder. I coach identity. I coach nervous system regulation. I coach embodied leadership because that's what creates change that actually lasts. For most of my life, I was what people would call high functioning. I showed up, I handled things, I performed under pressure. I'm a mother of four. I'm a wife. I'm a business owner, a very successful business owner. I'm now a grandmother. I was responsible, capable, dependable, all the things. From the outside, I looked very strong, like someone who had it together. How many of you out there can relate to that? But internally, I was living in a constant state of pressure. And frankly, I was extremely depressed most of the time. It's like I felt like I was treading water. My nervous system didn't know how to rest. My body didn't know how to feel safe. I have overcome so side attempts, abuse physically and verbally. I was married 4 times by the time I was 29 years old. It just kept picking abusive relationships. My story is pretty crazy. So no wonder I didn't feel safe. I lived from urgency, from adrenaline, from the belief that I slowed down. If I slowed down, everything would fall apart. And I learned very early how to override my body instead of listening to it. And I don't know, maybe you can relate to this, but I used alcohol and prescription pills most of the time to change the way I felt because I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. I have, which I'm very grateful for, overcome addiction. So it is possible. There is hope. So if you are struggling with drinking too much or overindulging, and that could be food, that could be relationships, sex, it could be prescription pills, shopping, alcohol, addictions, addiction. Okay. At one point in my life, prescription pills and alcohol became a way for me to cope. Not because I was reckless, not because I didn't care, but because I was exhausted from carrying everything and still trying to be everything. They made me feel like I could keep going, like I could be superwoman. Prescription pills gave me a lot of energy. And alcohol kind of helped me come out of my shell and be more conversational with people. Um, or so I thought. They worked until they didn't. And what eventually broke wasn't my discipline, it wasn't my intelligence, it wasn't my desire to live a better life. It was my nervous system. I had a moment where I realized functioning was not the same as living. And that moment changed everything. I actually hit a rock bottom and tried to commit suicide for the fourth time in my life 3.5 years ago. That was my rock bottom. Maybe you're at a rock bottom, maybe you're not. But if you are, I want to say congratulations because that is a great place to be. That moment changed everything for me because I finally understood something that no one had ever taught me. I wasn't broken. My nervous system was overloaded, and no amount of motivation was going to fix that. Recovery for me wasn't just about substances, it was about recovering from self abandonment. And if you would have said that to me 3.5 years ago, I would probably like look at you with a blank stare. Like, what does that even mean? I'm not abandoning myself. I do things all the time. So I want you to hear me and be open to a different perspective. From living disconnected from my body, from performing strength instead of feeling safety, from tying my worth to output. How many of you are tying your worth to output, productivity, and resilience? I know so many women out there who base their worth on what they do or what they get done or, all output stuff and being productive. I had to relearn how to feel, how to pause, how to listen to my body instead of overriding it. And that process really humbled me because I realized how many women were living the same way, and my heart breaks for them still. That's why this mission is so important to me. They were successful, disciplined, admired, and deeply disconnected from themselves. That's why my work changed. That's when my work changed. That's when my coaching philosophy was born. And here's what most women are never told. Your body will always override your goals if it doesn't feel safe. You can want something deeply, you can plan to have the perfect plan, you can be disciplined, educated, and motivated, but if your nervous system is stuck in survival, fatigue, anxiety, overwhelm, hypervigilance. How does that sound, familiar to you? Most people are living this way on autopilot and don't even realize how much they are wearing themselves out. Your body will resist change every single time. This is why motivation fades. This is why willpower collapses, especially, when you start those New Year's resolutions and you're all in and you hit the ground running. And then by February, you are back to old behavior. This is why discipline stops working after a certain point. And this is why so many women internalize failure when nothing actually is wrong with them. So I want you to know, and I want you to hear me when I say you are not lazy, you are not weak, and most importantly, you are not failing, you are dysregulated. Regulation doesn't mean being calm all the time. It means your body knows how to move in and out of stress safely. Because we all know there's always going to be stress everywhere. It means your nervous system trusts you. And when your body feels safe, change becomes sustainable instead of forced. And I want this for you. This is the missing piece in most programs. I want to give you something tangible you can start with. When you feel stuck, stop asking, what's wrong with me? I did that all the time. What is wrong with me? Instead, I want you to ask yourself this. What does my body need to feel safe right now? What does my body need to feel safe right now? That question alone will shift everything. Place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. I want you to breathe in through your nose for 4 and out through your mouth for 6. So in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want you to, and it's really helpful for me if I close my eyes and really center in without distractions. I want you to do this for 2 minutes. You are not calming yourself down. You are teaching your nervous system that it is safe to be here. That's where change begins. Okay, here's another one. Instead of asking, how do I get more disciplined? Ask, who am I becoming through this choice? Who am I becoming through this choice? Identity always outpaces motivation, always. This is the core of my work. I don't believe in extremes. I don't believe in punishment disguised as discipline. I don't believe in white knuckling your way to transformation. I work with women who are ready to lead themselves differently. We integrate the body, we work with hormones, we work with identity, we work with the nervous system, because when the body feels safe, consistency becomes natural. I want you to hear that again. When the body feels safe, consistency becomes natural. I don't coach outcomes, I coach identity. Outcomes follow identity every time. My tagline is transform your mind and your body will follow. Transform your mind and your body will follow. If this resonates with you, my book, Wounded to Warrior, goes much deeper. It's not a how-to book. It's a remembering book. It's for women who have survived a lot, achieved a lot, and are ready to stop living in survival mode. You'll find the link below if you want to check out my book, Wounded to Warrior. This work isn't meant to be done alone. You have 2 paths forward. 1, start with a book, read it slowly, let your body lead. I have some great action steps at the end that I use in my coaching program. 2, if you're ready for deeper support, I work with a small number of women privately. This is not a quick fix coaching. This is deep identity level work. You'll find the link below if that resonates with you. Click on it and we can set up a consultation or a strategy Zoom to see if you are a good fit for my program. You don't need to become someone new. You need to feel safe enough to be who you already are. And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for taking the time to listen. You did not come to this video by accident. This message was meant for you, and I look forward to sharing more about my journey with you and how I have overcome and stepped into the woman that I was created to be, just like you can too. I love you. I believe in you, and there is hope.